Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich as the German Empire. So, we have appointed now Schleicher. Schleicher now currently is the Chancellor. We'll kind of see what happens. There may or may not be a coup. We might be leading up to a coup, which probably is not going to be like super great, but we'll see. Okay, the Vice Chancellor. Officially known as the General Deputy of the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, may be appointed at the request of the Chancellor. He is able to fill the duties of the Chancellor and countersign imperial orders and increase in the Chancellor's stead, and generally holds considerable influence in the federal government. Traditionally, the Vice Chancellor also serves as Secretary of the Interior, although this is not an ironclad rule. During coalition governments of the Empire, the Vice Chancellor is generally given to the most important coalition partner of the Chancellor. For Schleicher, this is an issue, as he is an outsider of the Reichstag and seeks to work beyond the partisan barrier. But it also gives the opportunity. By tactically appointing a delegate of a bothersome ideological wing, he can satiate them for a time and spend that time furthering his agenda. An independent, nonpartisan, yet generally conservative official, such as Thilo von Wolowski, would be seen as an act of trust by the conservatives in the Reichstag. On the other hand, a member of the right wing of the SPD, such as August Winnig, would ensure that Schleicher's government reinforces its pretense as the Red General's government, and grant some assurances to the SPD. Alternatively, it's possible to simply leave the office of Vice Chancellor vacant. This would forgo opportunists for building cross connections, but it would consolidate even more power in the hands of the Chancellor. What will be our decision? Excellent. Am I fine? Oh, so last week, I posted an announcement. I had COVID last week, and I still have a bit of a cough from that. The decentralizing step, it'll be effective direction regime as well as representation among the people. Okay, so we're going to do a second vote. Everybody, we're going to do a quick 1-minute poll for the Vice Chancellor. So are we going to go right, left, or centralize? And I know I spelled this wrong. I know I spelled centralize, I think, wrong, but don't worry about that bit too much. So this will be done in 17 days. We have 13 days to announce this, so that's fine. We have time. We're probably just gonna go. We're gonna go basically until this is 1 day. It's not gonna be a quick vote. So get your votes in now while you can. Revive. Okay, so this unlocked. These two got completed, and I think that's all we have for the time being. The Man in the High Castle. The Kaiserreich on the radio. What do you do for us? Relief cards. So you give us new cards. Civilian factories. I mean, I'm always a big fan of civilian factories. Negative 10 consumer goods is also quite nice. Research speed. We'll probably go with the draft plan. The Tarnow Bade plan, I think, makes a little bit more sense based on what I'm seeing. Negotiate with lenders. Let's get this one going here first. Seems good to me. Oh, you can't pop up 3 events on the same day, Kaiserreich. Please. I beg of you. Okay, we're going to read... Okay, Romanians nationalize the oil fields. We understand that, okay? That's simple. Rising worker militancy. It has been anticipated ever since the February market crash, but it has now become clear. The breakdown of the German economy has greatly bolstered the far left of the political spectrum. Socialist propaganda has swept up thousands of workers across the nation, offering an easy answer to the confusion that many workers throw out of their job because of the factors they could not control. It is because of the illusion of prosperity that the bourgeoisie and the Junkers and the Kaiser at the top maintain has shattered. The final hour of international capitalism is at hand, so make sure to stand in line and hoist the red flag. German far-left parties are generally small and fractured, and though they are not banned, they are only somewhat tolerated by the political establishment. After years of splits and reunions, the Communist Workers' Party of Germany, the KAPD, has garnered most of the socialist share. Though supportive of French-style syndicalism, the KAPD holds some reservations, believe that trade unions in Germany have become hopelessly reformist, and so revolutionary vanguard must be factory councils of workers. Hence, council communism. The Communist Party of Germany, the KPD, is also prominent, distinguished by the fact that they are participating in electoral politics, unlike their cousins. Of course, this is so typical, right? Of course, you need the Communist Party and the Communist Workers' Party. You can't just have one. You can't just have. You need multiple. It's like this is like Nepal. Is it Nepal that has like 4 or 5 different communist parties in the parliament? Shit's crazy, man. Anyways, in spite of bad blood between the numerous factions on the far left, they find strength to cooperate from time to time. And today is one of those cases. The KPD, and our allied trade unions are planning a mass demonstration in Berlin on International Workers' Day, May 1st. That's in a few days from now. And Prussia and the Chancellor. For the first few decades at the formation of the German Empire, the Chancellor and the Minister-President of Prussia were the same person, and were considered to be the same position by many in practice. This was because the Emperor, as King of Prussia, generally preferred to keep the two positions consolidated, and also perpetuated Prussian dominance over the Empire. The state of affairs changed after the Weltkrieg for 2 reasons. First, the March reforms to the Constitution introduced a vote of no confidence in the Chancellor, allowing the Reichstag to control him and possibly remove him, which implicitly means that the Reichstag could now remove a Prussian minister-president. The second is Matthias Isberger, a liberal Southern Catholic, becoming Reichskanzler in 1921, which infuriated the Prussian House of Representatives. After being petitioned to do something about the Prussian legislators, Wilhelm II ultimately ascended and appointed Bill Drews, the first independent Prussian minister-president. You know what? Let's request we appoint a minister-president of Prussia. And how are those votes looking? How do I stop the poll? Okay, so with 34 votes, we got 14% for the right, 20% for centralization, and 64% have voted for the left. So we're going to... We will tolerate the SPD for the time being. Okay, what are the French doing? That's a great question. I mean, I think they're just saying like typical syndicalists. It looks like nothing like super crazy going on there. They did go for war, economy, and agriculture. That makes sense. I think it's still by far the best choice for them to go. Okay, but we've been appointed as the Prussian minister-president. Under the advice of his advisors, Wilhelm II, the King of Prussia, has accepted Schleicher's petition and appointed him as the next president of Prussia. This move has generally received negative reactions from the Prussian legislature and has been decried on the left as a threatening expansion of Schleicher's power. However, most of his political establishment accepted the decision without much fanfare. Okay, back to tradition. Fantastic. Okay. So things are looking... We are so unpopular, man. We have 11% support right now. No wonder we're fucking going... We're doing terrible. In response to the growing militancy of the German workers inciting previous sporadic cases of violence during the electoral campaign, the police force of Berlin issued a ban on open-air political demonstrations in the city during May 1st, aiming to prevent the planned Mayday demonstrations. This did not deter far-left activists, however, and even emboldened some. These restrictions appear to affirm the official party line of the KAPD that capitalism has entered its 3rd period, and so will respond to workers' movements with more and more draconian force. Demonstrations took place across the city. Rough tallies of numbers showed that the threats of police violence balanced out with the growing socialist membership, meaning that the size of the KAPD and KPD gatherings were hardly larger than normal. Still, Berlin police responded with force, sending out flying squads and attacking with truncheons whenever demonstrations were reported. Even the lawful conventions such as the SPD and the liberal trade union assemblies were mistaken for socialist protests and attacked. Street combat broke out in socialist-dominated Wedding District, but it was one-sided, only served to escalate police responses. Live rounds were fired upon KAPD demonstrators, and over 30 people were killed by the end of the day. Around 200 were injured, and 1,200 were arrested by the police. Distribution of the communist Arbeiterzeitung were curtailed in the aftermath to suppress the casualty numbers, but the message spread across the nation nonetheless, and further inflamed friction between the government and the labor movement. The events were largely viewed positively by the right wing of the Reichstag, while the liberals and the SPD were more divided. In particular, while the SPD newspaper Vorwärts produced a scathing piece stating that the KAPD were seeking to intentionally sacrifice supporters' lives, the Social Democratic delegation of the Reichstag officially protested the actions of Berlin policemen and demanded an investigation. Their demands fell on deaf ears, however, while tensions continued to rise. Okay, syndicalism goes up a little bit. 30 people are dead. Negative 2% stability. Look, we're at negative 31. It's not going to get better, okay? By the way, are you guys still positive? These numbers are still good. The Forest Brothers Uprising. So you are for the United Baltic Duchy. The Forest Brothers, national security, limited support. The aid will be of use, but will not guarantee the duchy survives. Look, we're already at negative 87 political power. Fuck it, throw another 70 on the fucking pile, man. Who cares? You know what I mean? What's the difference between being at negative 80 and being at negative 150? I would say nothing. Okay. Black Monday's turn completed. Nightmare's continuing. Vote for a bailout? No, fuck you. Get out of here. The fall... Okay, Greece seizes German assets. I see no... Look, Greece... Can Greece even join the Reichspakt? I don't think they can. I know they can join the Entente if they go monarchy. They usually side with the Russians. So, like, why would I care what Greece thinks? Sanction them. Get them out of here. Britain did go for Mosley, yes. So, Britain's gone for Mosley. Italy has gone for Mussolini, but... Wait, they made Mussolini a syndicalist now? Huh. Okay. Didn't know that. They can join the Reichspakt? Well, not anymore. Now that I sanction them, that's not happening. Okay, fall of the Eastern Railway. So you are the Polish railway network, largely owned by German subsidiary, the Prussian government railway company. This arrangement has secured German oversight or a vital transportation route. I will, you know what? Again, fuck it. Negative 171. Who cares? I don't need it. I don't need it. It's garbage anyways. Okay. So we got a technology here. You're still we're only we're at, like halfway through episode 4 and our first technology just finished. Okay. The vote has failed. Recent negotiated rights have been completed. We can now once again flank parties and party factions. Okay. So we need 3,000. We have 12 days on you. Who do we want to make sure? I mean, why would I just not take the same? Just choose the same people again. It's fine. I'm sure it's okay. And then for you, we need 3,000. We have another labor crisis. I like nothing here. Switch you over. We have an inflation crisis. I do need more cards. I don't have any cards. 3,000 is on stability. We need something for stagnation. 1,400 will not get us there. The following hand. Can I like more cards, please? Please? I want some more cards. This had no effect. I don't think this isn't useful for us. We're negative 9. Cool. Thing is, I need more cards. Mother's Day. Give me, I guess the mother's gonna wait. The country's nearing collapse. Fuck you, mom. Get out of here. Okay, we're not gonna read that one. Just give me my 2% stability. Can I draw more cards? Yes, give me more cards, please. I need something for stagnation. Why are all of my investment cards absolute dog shit? Take you. That's not even 3,000 still. One card will be added. Thing is, I kind of need the card to fix it. 120. Ah! I don't have money. Somebody somewhere, please give me some press claims of Malta, based in Cyprus, based in Crete. You know what? Let's actually do Mediterranean overtures. That sounds like that might be important. A Lithuanian envoy. An envoy has arrived from Lithuania, wishing to invite representatives from our government to negotiate a new trade agreement. Sure. We'll see what the Lithuanians have to say for themselves. What do we need? Technology. What do we want to take? Combined Industry 1. Get that going. Done. Aid for Szechuan. No, fuck Szechuan. Times could definitely be better for the Zentrum Party. The main representation of Catholic interests in German parliamentary politics. After many years of aimless leadership under the moderate Rhenish wing, 2 mediocre election results in 31 and 36, and the collapse of several governing cabinets with Zentrum participation over the course of the last few years, Zentrum chairman Theodor von Gerant has officially announced his retreat from the leadership. Okay. So Zentrum remains in a succession crisis. No Zentrum factions can be protected. That's fine. Don't worry about that. Export arms to Venezuela. You know what? It gives me a negative 50%. It seems like it could be useful for me. A scathing criticism of the Chancellor has been delivered in national newspapers by Edward von Klischet Schmenzen, the Oberpräsident of Pomerania. From his offices in Stettin has denounced Schleicher's lack of principles and heartless pragmatism, which will bring no new vision to the German Empire. Merely a mockery cobbled up from 100 competing ideas. To him, the Chancellor is a liberalist tactician, unprincipled opportunist, Godorian. I don't even know what the hell that means. One day he acts like nearly a syndicalist for trade unions in the Rhineland. Another day he denounces those same ideas as the plots business owners and puppet bureaucrats. Such a man can never renovate the German nation, merely drag it down deeper. The words of this rising star among German conservatives is traveling far. A well-connected East Elben aristocrat and leader of the Pomeranian agrarian movement, Schliemann is a representative of the new Juncker generation and has already been considered by the conservatives as a potential candidate for the Prussian minister-president or even the chancellor. His sentiment towards Schleicher is shared by the DKP in particular, who have chosen this week to finally announce that their electoral alliance with the DVLP will continue in the Reichstag as well. Negative. Look. Okay, Russia's announced an emperor. Look, isn't that neat? Look at that Russian emperor. We got Dmitry III. Why don't you guys look over there and don't look at anything that I am doing, okay? Germany's collapsing, but there's a new czar. Isn't that wacky? Isn't that like a little wild? You know what I should also do? I have no command power, huh? Okay, cool. Let's actually draw some offensive lines. You will move your way down towards Paris when the time comes. You will move your way to this river. Sounds good. You will push to here. And then Red Army. You kind of push in this direction. I think that looks good. Okay. Red 3250, 3500. I have 11 days on this shit. Minority block has joined up with the left. Again, I just want to choose whoever has the most seats. We can't take the Zentrum. So I guess we go with the agrarian parties next. That's cool. Minority block has joined up with the left. 35. We have a liquidity crisis here. 128% GDP. Have you ever seen anybody this poor? 1515. More effective. Okay, cool. 2 cards we added to the deck. I need those 2 cards. I'll take you. $5,000. We need 500 points here, okay? There. 45. The numbers are looking good. The numbers are looking somewhat okay. This week, Zentrum convened its party conference in the city of Essen in the heart of the Ruhr. Known hotbed for a powerful Christian trade union movement. Quite fittingly, the board has already nominated a candidate that comes from a trade union background and who, according to observers, has an undeniable high chance of winning. Adam Strohwald, the most influential representative of the party's labor wing for several decades, and since recently the leader of Zentrum's parliamentary faction, the Reichstag. However, while Strohwald enjoys enormous influence and sway within the Zentrum's party board, the parliamentary faction, and among the Christian trade unions, he is viewed with skepticism by the church. Catholic interest groups and middle-class organizations who fear that Star Wars might be too divisive and not a proper leading figure for one of the Empire's most divisive parties. His opponents perceive him as a power-hungry and anti-clerical, and his questionable support for the Star Wars front concept has made him many enemies. Refusal any concession to conservative opposition. You know what? You can negotiate with the conservatives. That seems okay. Seems fine by me. Give me more guns. Sounds good. By the way, how's our factories looking here? 41%. Okay, I mean things are theoretically getting better. To the surprise of many, Star Wars has proven himself willing to make concessions to his party internal opponents. However, the harsh protests of the United Federation of Christian Trade Unions and the trade union aligned representatives of the Zentrum Party board has put an end to these negotiations before they could even start. In their eyes, the broad opposition against Star Wars' leading role within the party is nothing less than a serious affront to the German working class. Thus, the trade unions have announced to refuse any kind of further cooperation as long as the demands of the Christian working class remain unheard. Okay. Mediate between the entrenched fronts, the less anti-clerical and interconfessional Catholic Workers Associations agreed to broker a compromise. Hell yeah, let's go with the triumvirate. They have never, historically, they have never failed. Coup d'etat inside. How is stuff going on in the rest of the world, by the way? We haven't really looked at this. We got the left KMT. I think the non-Shink League have a pretty decent chance of winning the war there, which I think will be beneficial to us. America's, look, like me and America, we're in like the same boat, right? Like we're both completely faltering. But I will say that I think at least right now is going to be a good time for us to end off this episode. So if you've enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoyed, thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.